into Pregame Central presented by USVI and that guy, Breece Hall. We're looking to see if he's going to have another 100-yard rushing game in week 2 of the 2025 NFL season. Welcome in. We're sitting in the tailgate zone at MetLife Stadium. I'm your host, Caroline Hendershot, Eric Allen, Quincy Anunwa, Marty Lyons. And we got a great crowd behind us today. Excited to be here. Oh, I love to hear it. They're excited. We have the perfect weather for the first AFC East matchup against the Bills. There are some Bills fans in there. I don't want to hear them. But, Marty, what do you remember about playing against some AFC East rivals back in the day?
Well, number one, they're going to be a tough. You have to win the battle up front if you're playing the Buffalo Bills. If you play like you did last week, only allowing 1 sack and getting 4 sacks on defense, you put yourself in a nice position to win today.
Absolutely. Yeah, but Josh Allen he's a tough guy to bring down. However, he's had some notoriously not great games at MetLife Stadium. Quincy, what are you expecting from Josh Allen, the reigning MVP?
Yeah, so I think they're going to make it really challenging for him. They may not be able to bring him down, but they can at least put some pressure on him and cause him to throw the ball up a little bit. I made a little bit of a note before. They played 3 games in MetLife, at least the last 3 games. He's thrown 5 picks, right? So that's a lot of picks. That's a lot of opportunities for us to see these DBs come down with some balls.
And that's something I know that Sauce Gardner has emphasized in the offseason, of getting those interceptions, getting those turnovers. EA, what are you thinking of how this secondary is going to defend, and even the front, honestly, against Josh Allen?
Yeah, we're watching Justin Fields warm up here as, we're about 2 hours from kickoff. But, yeah, I think the Jets front has to dominate this game today. And you have to get production from Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. They have to set those edges, and then those guys on the interior. If Josh Allen steps up, you got Quinnen Williams right there, Marty. You know that. We were just watching your defensive highlights from way back in the day and how you wreaked havoc on the Bills. That's what I want to see from the front. This is where it starts today.
Yeah, but the big thing is you got Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson. If they go inside, they have got to get the quarterback because Josh Allen, he's going to get outside. He's going to utilize his legs. He's a tough guy. The way you hit those tough guys, you got to hit them with multiple helmets. Hold them up, let everybody come in there, put their headgear on them, try to wear them down as the game goes on.
Yes. Yeah. It's going to be, I was going to add on to that. It's going to be a lot of that front, but then also the linebackers, the secondary. It's going to be a lot of, obviously, a team effort. It always is.
Absolutely.
Make sure you guys stick around because later on Pregame Central, we're going to be having a Hellman's Mayonnaise field goal kick challenge. If you think that you can kick a 30-yard field goal, you got to go out to the tailgate zone and try it because you'll have the chance, if you make it, to come back at the end of the year and kick for $100,000. So it's a lot of prize money on the line. Let's get into our quarterback, the New York Jets, Justin Fields. EA, what did you think of his performance last week in Week 1?
He was outstanding. He was everything that the New York Jets would want him to be. 16 and 22 through the air, showed great command out there of the huddle, but also he went through his progressions as well. And then he showed you what he can do on the ground. Again, last week, Justin Fields became just the 3rd quarterback in Jets history to have 1 TD pass and 2 scores on the ground in the same game. And, oh, by the way, the Jets came out firing last week. That's what I want to see today against the Bills. They scored on their first 4 drives for the first time since 1997.
Yeah, the big thing that I liked is where they control the line of scrimmage. Anytime that you can run the ball for almost 200 yards, your quarterback, like you said, Justin got outside the pocket, and rather than making a mistake or trying to force it, he utilized his legs.
And, exactly. And I feel like that's a credit to his chemistry with offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand. Quincy, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about Tanner Engstrand, but we also got to talk about Steve Hyden and Nick McKissick, right? Because we were talking about Breece Hall. Last year, it kind of looked like he was falling off just a bit, maybe coming back from injury. But this year, man, the vision was amazing. I mean, you saw some of those holes. They were so small, but he was able to fit through them. He saw exactly where he needed to go. And then the line had great push against a really good Steelers defensive line. So I was happy about that.
I mean, the line was incredible. Not only did they have to do some shuffling because of Elijah Vera Tucker going out earlier that week, but then Armand Membu in his rookie regular season debut going up against TJ Watt, keeping him kind of quiet. What do you think of Armand Membu?
I thought he did an excellent job. Again, when you start to run the ball you start to wear these guys out. And then you can drop back and do the pass protection. For this offensive line to open up the holes the way they did, to rush for almost 200 yards, but only allow them one sack, that is key.
Yeah.
One sack, gives the offense the ability to keep the ball moving, take time off the clock, keep the opposing offense on the bench. You know what? Nothing would be better than to see Josh Allen sitting over there,
right.
12, 14 play drives, come away with some points.
100%. And you know what, Quincy, I want your perspective, because how do you limit someone like Josh Allen? Because it's not just like, throw some rushers at him because he'll escape the pocket.
Absolutely.
So how do you shut him down?
Yeah, I think the last couple of times the way they just done it, just creating pressure, but also being sticky in coverage, right? These DBs, Brandon Stevens didn't have the best game as a new Jet, but I think this is an opportunity for him. The receivers on this team are not the same as like a DK Metcalf, right? So you have an opportunity to really stick on these guys, and it's hard because once Josh Allen leaves the pocket, that's where it becomes really difficult. You got to find your man and stay on him, so that way he's not making these big plays that he's so accustomed to doing.
Yeah, there was some news about Ed Oliver earlier this week. What can you tell us, and how will that affect this game?
Well, the Bills' defense struggled mightily against the Baltimore Ravens. They gave up 238 yards on the ground, 8.2 yards per carry. We know that. And Ed Oliver was fantastic in that game. He was the one guy on their defense where you're looking at it and saying, okay, this guy is making monster plays. Well, he's out of the lineup this week. The Bills had a full padded practice on Wednesday. He got stepped on during practice. Oliver was ruled out, so that means in his place you might have a rookie starting, TJ Sanders out of South Carolina.
And what will that mean, Marty, for their offensive line?
It'll give you another chance.
Yeah.
Next man up. I spent some time with Deion Dawkins this offseason, and I started talking to him about what is going on between you and Michael Clemens. And I said, Michael Clemens, all he has to do is take all that energy that he has and stay focused.
Yeah.
And what was amazing is Deion told me, he says, you know what, I like to talk a lot. And he goes, as soon as the guys on the other side of the ball, they start talking back, he goes, I got him.
Yeah,
he goes, so, I hope Michael Clemens understands that, you know what, he's going to talk a good game. He's a great player. He's a nice individual. But when you get on the field, don't pay any attention to him.
And I love that point because now we have AG who's really shown that, listen, accountability is important. We saw some things, some people getting left off the team this week. That's a huge point because now if you do those type of things, AG is not playing around. So I think Michael Clemens might have a little bit of a change of heart in the way that he operates.
Well, but here's my thing. I think most of this game, Deion Dawkins is going to be matched up against Will McDonald. Will McDonald gave Deion Dawkins problems last year. He got off to a good start in week 1 with the 2 sacks against the Steelers. And then on the other side, you're going to have Jermaine Johnson going against Spencer Brown. So let's see if Jermaine can get up underneath his pads and get some push as well.
And Jermaine Johnson is familiar with bringing Josh Allen down, specifically at MetLife. Now, last thing for each of you, I want a quick first thing that comes to mind. Last week was very close between the Steelers and the Jets. What's that one thing that the Jets defense or offense needs to focus on to come out on top this game? I'm going to start with you.
Well, okay. I'd say discipline. That's one thing that Aaron Glenn has stressed from the day he walked back in here in January. The Jets had 7 penalties last week, and a couple of late penalties that were really damaging. The other thing that the Jets have to do against the Bills in order to give themselves a chance at victory, they either have to be even in the turnover department or in the plus category. The one thing the defense was not able to get last week was takeaways.
Right. Quincy, what's the one thing?
I think explosive plays in the run game. I think that's a huge point because last year the Buffalo Bills were bottom 10 in the league in 10-plus yard rushes against them. So, Breece Hall, Justin Fields, Braylon Allen, I want a big game from him as well.
Marty?
Yeah, I'm going to say play with a purpose.
Okay.
Because you know what? This is a division game. Mm-hmm. You want to make it to the playoffs, you have to win your division. You have to beat Buffalo at home.
Yeah, that's a big one. And, you got to use that home field advantage. We have some great fans out by the Hellman Field Goal Challenge getting ready for it. So I'm excited. I know everyone out here in the tailgate zone is excited. Marty, thank you so much. We're going to let you go.
My pleasure.
You're always the best. We appreciate you. Now we're going to hear from Aaron Glenn on Joe Brady and Josh Allen and their chemistry.
I think the one thing that shows up with Brady previously on how they used to operate is he really trusts and those guys running the ball. And those can be runs with the running back or the quarterback. So he's brought that brand of football within their program. I think he allows Josh to be Josh too. Even though that they have their concepts, man, he does a really good job of playing street ball and being able to find his guys, and more importantly, his guys understand him. And when you have that type of connection with the quarterback and your receivers, with that type of talent they have, man, it's good things are bound to happen for the most part. And over the last couple of years, those things have been pretty good for him. He's not turning the ball over. Man, he's finding guys, and when it's time for him to tuck it and run it, I mean, obviously he's a 245-pound man, so it's a hard tackle. So they do a good job in that aspect, and we have a challenge ahead of us, and we know that.
All right, everybody. Jets football's back at MetLife Stadium Week 5 as the Jets face off against the Cowboys on October 5th at 1 p.m. Presented by Atlantic Health System. Get your seats now at nyjets.com/tickets. That's going to be a good matchup. Now, the NFL and Hispanic Heritage Foundation are so excited to announce the return of the NFL Latino Youth Honors that celebrates exceptional high school flag and tackle football players who demonstrate excellence on the field and in the classroom. So in honor of that, we have two extremely special guests joining us on set today. Everybody, please welcome Andy Paulino and Keisha Garcia Castillo. You guys, I'm so excited to have you guys on set. How are we feeling? I know I'm going to get into a little bit of what you love about football, what you love about the Jets, but how excited are you guys for going on the field later today?
Extremely excited. I mean, what better place to be at than MetLife Stadium?
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Andy, now, what is your favorite part of playing football, specifically on the line?
I think it's just being a unit, being a collective. Offensive lineman, it's communication, it's understanding where you are on the field, how you can help your brother. I think that's just my favorite part. That's my favorite part of playing offensive, defensive line.
So Andy, you're playing guard and defensive tackle, right? We were talking before we started the show here about your latest game. What can you tell us about what happened this weekend?
It's things that happen. It comes with football. You have your ups and downs. We have a great game going through the whole game. Slip-ups in the fourth quarter, mistakes happen, but it's at the end of the day, it's about being a team and staying together. That's how I take it.
And this was a one-possession contest, right? Just like the Jets last week.
Yeah, everything can go right until that one slip-up, and you lose it. But,
hey, they say football's a game of inches. They're not lying. They're not lying. Keisha, I hear that you play wide receiver and defensive back. That is crazy. Which one do you like more, and how does playing both kind of help you in each other position?
Well, I like to play more defensive.
Okay.
Because, I don't know, I just like running a lot, and it helps by my ability to, like a lot of strength I have. And, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Keisha, so as a fellow receiver, I know you said you like playing DB more, but let's just hop into the mind of a receiver just a little bit,
of
right?
course.
So, my favorite part of playing football, especially receivers, the competition, right? The one-on-one battle against somebody else. Can you tell me just a little bit about your mind frame and what is your favorite part?
My favorite part is, catching the ball, running out the field, juking, and all of that. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
How did you find flag football? What was your introduction to that?
I'm not going to lie. It was because I was going to do volleyball first. Mm-hmm. But I was like, no, let me not.
Yeah?
Not as exciting as flag football.
I bet you the volleyball coach is quite disappointed.
I'm sure he wants that athlete on his team.
Yeah.
Now, Andy, I'm going to start with you. What is the player that you are watching today? It could be on the Bills, but preferably on the Jets, that you think is going to be a big player and making a big impact in today's game?
For me, it's Breece Hall.
Okay.
I love that selection.
That guy, he's a talent. The way he runs the ball, the way he cuts, everything about him is just smooth, it's efficient, powerful. That's who I'm watching.
And hey, that's a true lineman right there because he knows that's a tandem that needs each other, the running backs and the O-linemen. Keisha, who do you like on the Jets or the Bills?
Jamie Sherwood.
Oh,
all right.
I love that answer.
So she didn't go wide receiver or DB. She took the middle linebacker.
She said, I'm going to throw you for a loop. Why is that?
Yeah.
because he's just it.
Yeah. Hey, it's simple. If you have it, you have it, you know? Okay, so what are we expecting? Bills, Jets. What are we expecting? Who's going to score first, maybe? Is it going to be a close game? Andy, what do you think?
I'm expecting a Garrett Wilson touchdown.
There you go.
Yeah.
Love that.
I like that. Fantasy owners better dial up G5.
Uh-huh. Keisha, what about you?
A fair game. I don't know. Everybody.
Everybody has a good time.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
How many people do you guys have here today?
Huh?
As far as your family and friends.
I have my dad and my brother.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome. We love that. Keisha, who's with you?
My sister and my coach.
Awesome. We love that. Well, thank you guys all so much for coming out. Thank you both for coming on set for Pregame Central. You were lovely. Have so much fun on the field later. Enjoy every moment. Now we're going to toss it over to Rob Monty, who is with our contestant who is going to be doing the Hellman's Field Goal Challenge. Rob, take it away.
Thank you, Caroline. We're here out in the tailgate zone, and it's been a very active field goal challenge here today, but only one contestant, Mike Russo from Cedar Grove, is going to get the chance to kick live here and on Pregame Central. Mike Russo, how you feeling today?
Feel great. I'm excited.
Great. What's your level of sports? You played sports in high school or anything?
I played in high school my entire life and stopped after high school.
All right, well, that's good. So, feel confident today?
I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm confident.
All right, well, in a few seconds here, you're going to try this. And if you get that, you're going to get a chance on December 28th against the Patriots inside MetLife Stadium to win $100,000. He can win $100,000 if he gets this. How you feel about that?
Feel great. I'm excited, man.
Any final words before you do this kick?
Money Mike. Money Mike.
Money Mike. All right, Caroline, here we go. Money Mike, you ready? Let's get this going. Come on, fans. Give him some confidence. Let's go. Keep your head down, kid. Oh, so close. Oh, but Mike, no one leaves a loser here. We got a Jets swag bag for you. It's been a great time here at the Jets tailgate zone with Pregame Central, Hellman's Field Goal Challenge. Every week we're here. Say goodbye, Mike. Great time. Thank you, Caroline. Back to you.
Rob, thank you so much. Kudos to our kicker. That one was so close, Mike. You were just inches away. Again, football, game of inches. Man, that was exciting. Now, we're lucky because we have the Hellman's Disappearing Buffalo Chicken Dip on set right now with us. Quincy and EA, I'm forcing them to partake because nobody wants to see me get food in my teeth. So I'm going to just obviously give it to the men to handle. I need you guys all to go to hellmans.com for this recipe and more. It's going to make your game day that much better. There's also a QR code that you're able to scan later, but this recipe is up on screen for you. So I don't know, maybe you run to the store right now, and get those ingredients because you have plenty of time ahead of kickoff. It's going to make your game day that much better. All right, let's hear the review. Is it good? What's your rating out of 10 maybe?
It's very good. I think they call it disappearing buffalo chicken dip.
Yes.
And that makes sense because it's good, so everybody's going to eat it, right?
And is that going to be gone by the end of the show?
That's a lot. But
is that lunch for you guys?
Listen, they heard me last week say, I'm in the kitchen, so they knew they needed to bring something to make.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. It's good, though.
It's got some bite to it. Mm-hmm. I never thought of mayonnaise being in buffalo chicken wing dip, but it works, right?
It does. It does.
You know what's
Cheese on top?
You know what's the secret? I actually think mayo is the secret to a lot of really good dishes. I have used it in chocolate cake before. Let me tell you.
Wow, that's a curveball.
Let me tell you, delicious. So you should try that at home, 100%.
Can we get back to the field goal kick for a second?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yeah, it was a good boot.
It was.
But my problem is, it's from 30 yards, which is a challenging kick. But we've done this for 2 weeks now, and we don't have anybody connected. We need somebody to hit it.
Yeah.
We need somebody to hit it so they have an opportunity
to come back
for $100,000.
$100,000. Come on, people. We got to be like training in the garage or in the backyard for this.
Yeah, if you're coming to the game against the Cowboys, you seriously got to come out to the tailgate zone.
Yeah.
We got the field goal post behind us, and you got to put your foot in the ring.
Yes, 100%. Quincy, do you think that you could make a 30-yard field goal?
I
know I asked you this last week.
Challenge. It's a tough one. And listen, and I think the hardest thing about being a kicker is that you sit for a long time.
Yep.
Right? And then it's like a skill. It's like golf, right? And I've tried golf, and it's not my sport at all. Like, I go in there, I play like the way I play football. I'm so tough and physical. I'm trying to just swing it out the park, and every time I miss.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's almost like one of those things where the harder you try, the worse it gets.
Exactly. Yeah, it's tough.
Not good for anyone. All right.
Not at all.
I do have to let you all know that the NFL Fan of the Year contest, that is back. It's presented by Captain Morgan, and the Jets are looking to celebrate extraordinary fans who will represent the team at Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco. So visit nyjets.com/fan of the year to submit your nomination now. I know I can see both of you going back for seconds here with this disappearing buffalo chicken dip. It's no lie. It's very delicious. Now, we're going to get to make your case. I will give you both a minute to finish chewing your chips here. I don't want to make anyone choke. But, Quincy, what do you want to make your case about for this AFC East matchup?
Yeah, so I've had a few opportunities to talk about the run game, so I'm going to stick with that, right? I think Breece Hall had a great game last week in conjunction with the O-line, doing a great job pushing everybody back. This week, the Bills don't have Ed Oliver out there, so that's a dynamic, explosive piece on their line that they cannot use, right? So now you have an opportunity as this O-line. Armand Mambu has another week to play a great game. We get to see Olu Fashanu go out there and play. Everybody on this O-line is excited. They're hungry. They know what they did last week. So now I want to see Breece go back-to-back with 100 yards.
Ooh, okay, I like that. EA, what is the case that you are making for today's game?
I will say that, Quincy, that was a great selection because Breece has really played well against the Bills throughout his career. For me, it's to be or not to be. Last week we saw Sauce Gardner stick with DK Metcalf, and he provided great coverage in the secondary throughout that ball game. But for the Bills, who is their top target? Like, I think their second top offensive weapon is James Cook. So for the Jets, you have to contain Cook on the ground and through the air. Now, Keon Coleman is a developing receiver, but I don't know if you're going to put Sauce Gardner on him every snap.
Right.
The Josh Allen, with him, what makes him special is everybody's live.
Right. And that's also the biggest advantage for that Bills offense is because he can escape the pocket, be on the move, and still find someone to connect with downfield.
Right.
All right, I'm going to give you another one. What would you say is the biggest underrated individual matchup of this game? Now, like, you could go someone like Deion Dawkins versus Will McDonald or maybe someone else, but who do you think is going to be coming out on top? Quincy, who do you think between Deion Dawkins and Will McDonald is going to come out on top?
Oh, man, Will McDonald had a great game last week. I was actually thinking of going somewhere around Brandon Stevens, right?
Ooh,
I like to give guys a challenge, right? I want to, you had an opportunity last week. You didn't really come up as well as you might have wanted to, right? And I think the biggest knock on him in the offseason was he couldn't track and find the ball. And that kind of showed his head a little bit. So this week he has an opportunity with a quarterback that exits the pocket. Now it's very hard to find that ball in the air. This is his opportunity to show that he got signed to the Jets for a reason and he can do exactly what he wants to do.
Yeah, what about Will McDonald and Deion Dawkins? Do you have who's coming out on top between that matchup?
Well, listen, Will McDonald's off to an awesome start. I can't wait to watch him against Dawkins today. And I think each guy are probably going to win some reps out there, but McDonald is becoming a force. Last year, 10.5 sacks. He's got freaky bend. Again, I go back to last year's game in Western New York where Will he's got this freaky ability as far as bending is concerned.
Yes.
Like he's got that first step, but as far as his bend, that's not fair.
And he looks bigger this
year.
Yeah, he definitely does.
And he put on 15 pounds in the offseason. He's got the ability to set the edge there and help out in the run game as well. So I love that matchup today. That's one. If you're not watching the ball, you should be watching Will McDonald against Deion Dawkins.
Okay, I want an answer from both of you on this one. Who is going to have more rush attempts? Josh Allen or Justin Fields?
That's a great question.
That's a tough one.
Battle of the mobile quarterbacks.
So I think because the Jets know that the run game has to be important in this game, I think it's going to be Justin Fields, right? I think they showed so many different things, and I think they still have some things in their repertoire that we have not seen yet, right? There were some RPOs. There was even an opportunity. Man, I wish they would have had this. There was an opportunity in the red zone where I think he wanted to go to Garrett Wilson on the RPO, ended up getting sacked. I think that's coming back. I think they're going to have so many different opportunities for him to hold the ball, running, and he's going to have more rush attempts.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be Fields. Now, last week he had 12 rush attempts, and Allen had 14. And Josh will talk it, but for the Jets offensively, they're going to have more design runs in their game today for Fields. No doubt about that.
Yes, definitely. And, we even saw a flash of that last week with when Justin Fields was just outside the end zone and ended up running in a touchdown himself because he said Tanner Engstrand was just like, yeah, let's try it. They're giving us the look. Let's seize the opportunity. So I think we can expect to see him, that guy on your screen, Justin Fields, reach in the end zone with his own legs today a couple times.
Yeah, I am so excited to watch him play because since the start of last season in Pittsburgh, you go back to those 6 starts with the Steelers, and they didn't expect him to start coming out. That was going to be Russell Wilson's job.
Yeah.
Is that through the air, in those games since then, the 6 he started in Pittsburgh and then the 1 he started last week, he's had 12 touchdown passes and 1 interception. So I think when people are looking at Fields now, they're thinking about him, what he used to be. You have to watch him now because this is a great marriage, I think. The Jets, they targeted this guy in free agency. We saw Engstrand. We saw the small sample, him working with Fields, and he just seems in great command, and he's got really quiet confidence that goes over well in the locker room.
100%. And I think it's just been the entire process from start to finish with obtaining him as the Jets quarterback. It's been, you are our guy from day one, no questions asked. And it's that kind of support that I think really sets a quarterback off in a good way. Now, guys, I'm going to ask you about what will the newspaper be saying tomorrow and what will that headline say? Quincy, I'm going to start with you. What is your tomorrow's headline?
Yeah, so we just had that Buffalo dip right here, right? And so I'm going to stick with that same theme, right? So the Jets clipped the wings of Buffalo's air attack.
Ooh.
I think that's a big thing today is that Sauce Gardner, Brandon Stevens, Michael Carter, all those guys got to get out there, get some takeaways. I talked about Josh Allen having 5 picks in the last 3 games. That's a big point of focus for this game is that you got to take the ball away from him, get some pressure on him. Let's win the game in the air.
Yeah.
I'm going Jets break through. They bully Buffalo. We're looking at the line of scrimmage. The Jets have advantages on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I know Buffalo's got a quality offensive line, but I really like the way this defensive line is coming together. And last week against the Steelers, you're going against a different target than Aaron Rodgers, but you had the 4 sacks. And the Jets showed a vastly improved run defense. Then if you flip it on the other side of the ball, you got the Jets offensive line. What a statement they made in week 1. And they're going against a Bills defensive line that is missing a bona fide superstar there in Ed Oliver. You might have a rookie starting in the middle. So I really like the Jets matchups at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and I think that we have started to see the combination of Harrison Phillips and Quinnen Williams. It's just the tip of the iceberg, in my opinion, of what we're going to continue to see because Harrison Phillips said this past week in his press conference, I hope that was my worst game. So if everyone thinks that that is good, I hope that that was the worst, and it only continues to build from there. So I'm excited to see how that kind of continues to develop. But I do have one more for both of you. Both the Bills game last week and the Jets game last week came down to the final minute. It was a nail-biter and a barn burner up until that 1 minute was on the clock.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be like today? And who will score the first touchdown?
Oh, man.
Wow.
I know. I'm sorry.
man.
I'm putting you on the hot seat. I'm giving you the tough question.
Let me look at my notes. I didn't see that
Caroline,
one.
I'm already in the hot seat.
I know. You are directly in the sun over there, and you are wearing all black, so I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
That you're
Listen,
sweating.
I think the biggest thing for the Jets, I think it's going to be a close game. It has to be a close game because the Bills are going to come out knowing that they don't play that as well. In MetLife, they're going to make this a close game, but the Jets just have to make sure that they win in the run game. That's the biggest thing for the Jets.
Who would you take with the first touchdown, though?
Oh, first touchdown, Justin Fields.
Ooh, okay. Like it.
It's definitely going to be a close game.
Yeah.
I mean, these teams know each other so well. And the other Orleans. And then when Aaron Glenn started his coaching career, it was with the Cleveland Browns. And Bobby Babbage, a young Bobby Babbage, was on that staff. But he is the Bills' defensive coordinator. And also remember, Detroit played this team in December last year, and that game was a shootout, but it's definitely going to be a close game. It's Jets-Bills. It's MetLife Stadium. I hope it comes down to a kick because Folk Hero, I think he's ready to close this one down.
Oh, gosh.
I
hate when it comes down to a kick. It makes me so anxious. It's not fun and I'm not even the one doing the kick.
And I am taking Fields.
Okay.
And it's going to be a rush touchdown.
Okay, so you heard it both from EA and Quincy that we are going to do Justin Fields for that first touchdown today. Now, it is 11:30, so it is time to go through the inactives for today's game. That is running back Kene Nwangwu. That is Issa Pohl, our tackle, Jay Tufele, Josh Reynolds, Jelani Woods, and Tyler Barron. Now, I do have one last. I know I keep saying one last. Final thoughts. Last thing. First thing that pops into your mind, Quincy.
Limit off schedule plays. That's Josh Allen's bread and butter there. You have to limit them.
That's a great one.
It's a hell of an opportunity because you get this one, you could be 1-1, and then you're going on a 2-game road trip to Florida starting next week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This team's going to be ready to go from the get-go, but they have to be more disciplined throughout for 60 minutes, and that was the message throughout the week.
Yep, we're going to see that in just a couple hours here at MetLife Stadium. Thank you guys so much for joining us with Pregame Central presented by USVI. This is the last time for the next 2 weeks. The next time you're going to see us, well, at least here at MetLife Stadium, will be Week 5 against the Cowboys. So make sure that you guys are here for that game on Week 5 at MetLife Stadium. But thank you all so much. You will see us after the game on Jets Overtime.